Okay, so in this video, I'm going to look at what's the best budget 4K streaming device that you can hook up to your TV. I'm specifically looking at devices that are less than £100. So unfortunately, this means I'm going to have to disregard the Nvidia Shield and the Apple TV 4K, as they're all over budget for this video. And because I'm focusing on the UK market, it also means that I'm sadly going to have to disregard the ONN range of devices due to the fact that Walmart have now put a restriction on them, which means that it's more difficult to get them set up outside of the US. Now, obviously, everybody's got their own favourite box. This is my personal choice based on my experience and knowledge of these devices. But if you've got a favourite device, then please feel free to let us know in the comments down below. What is your favourite streaming device that is less than £100 and that can be used in the UK, and why do you like it? First up is the Roku Streaming Stick 4K, which is currently being sold for £49.99, and like the Fire Stick, is a neat little device that plugs directly into the back of your TV. The remote control is compact and easy to use too, and is also voice activated. The specifications of the device say that it can support 4K HDR TVs with Dolby Vision, HDR10, HDR10 Plus and HLG up to 60 frames per second. With regards to the audio, it supports digital stereo over HDMI, DTS surround pass-through over HDMI, and also supports pass-through of Dolby encoded audio over HDMI. It's also compatible with Apple AirPlay, Apple Home, works with Alexa, and also works with Google Home. With regards to networking, it supports Wi-Fi 5 802.11 AC MIMO dual band Wi-Fi, which I believe is Wi-Fi 5. You can also plug in an Ethernet adapter, but it can't be any old Ethernet adapter. It's got to be one that Roku recommends. However, this is not going to be a gigabit connection due to a limitation in the USB 2 socket that the Ethernet would have to plug into. Now, one of the things to say about any Roku device is that before you can use the device, you need to agree to their dispute resolution terms, which basically means that you can't take Roku to court for anything they do or take part in a class action lawsuit. When you accept the terms, you agree that arbitration will be used instead of court action. Now, I know not many users are going to like this. Another thing to say is that Roku devices use a system which means no apps can be sideloaded, so you're really limited to what's available in the Roku channel store. The Roku, however, is fully certified for the UK, which means that it's fully compatible with apps like the BBC iPlayer, ITVX, Channel 4 and 5, along with many other popular apps. The Roku Streaming Stick 4K can play AV1 files, but it doesn't support AV1 as an adaptive streaming codec, meaning that it may not be able to play AV1 files that are streamed to the device. If you're not sure what AV1 is, it's a compression format which basically makes the data size of the content smaller without losing too much quality. This essentially means if you're storing content on a hard drive with AV1 compression, it will take up less space. If you're streaming in AV1, then this means it can be played on internet connections with a lower bandwidth, as it takes far less data to transmit the file. But going back to the Roku, this is a great budget box and the cheapest regular price box if you don't mind agreeing to the terms and conditions mentioned earlier and you're happy with the apps that are available in the Roku channel store. Then, as I say, this is great. Next up, it's the Xiaomi Mi Box or My Box S 2nd Gen. The 4K Ultra HD Android TV streaming media player with Google Assistant and Chromecast built in. Now, they do say that they have a UK version. It comes with a 2-year warranty. Now, this is a box that runs Google TV Android 11 operating system, which means that you have the flexibility to be able to sideload apps that may not be directly available in the Google Play Store. It also means that you can install apps that are compatible from the Google Play Store, which obviously has the widest number of apps on any TV device. It has a voice assistant remote which has built-in infrared, allowing you to control your TV volume from the same remote, although the lack of a mute button is annoying as most other devices have this. Unlike the Roku stick that plugs directly into the TV, this is a box that sits underneath the TV and connects via a supplied HDMI cable. At the time of recording this video, it's £54.49 at Amazon. The device itself is very responsive and quick to load apps, which isn't surprising as it has a quad-core Cortex A55 processor, an ARM Mali G31 MP2 GPU, 2GB of RAM and 8GB of storage. Also got 2.4 GHz and 5 GHz dual band Wi-Fi, and supports H.265, but no mention of AV1 support. It supports Dolby Vision and HDR10+, Dolby Audio and DTS HD. Although the device on Amazon is advertised as a UK version, it comes with a European mains plug, so it needs a converter for UK use. Also, many UK-focused apps such as iPlayer, ITVX, Channel 4 and 5 do not work with the device, even though some of these apps come pre-installed. The MyBox also has a USB 2 port, which allows for an Ethernet adapter to be plugged in, or a flash drive or hard drive formatted to NTFS or FAT can also be plugged in to allow playback of local files. If you're looking for a box to sideload apps and are not worried about being able to use official UK TV catch-up apps, then for the money, this is a great option. Although remember, you'll need to buy a Euro to UK conversion power plug. Next up, it's the Amazon Fire TV Stick 4K Max 2nd generation. This is a stick device like the Roku, which plugs directly into the HDMI port of your TV. It's running Fire OS 8, which is based on Android 11, with features also taken from Android 10. This means that while Fire OS is a modified version of Android, it doesn't have direct access to the Google Play Store, but does have a limited amount of Google Play Store apps in the Amazon App Store. It also means that apps not available on the Amazon App Store can be sideloaded as long as they're compatible with Android devices. Unfortunately, there is no Chromecast, but it does have Miracast, which allows casting from Fire tablets. But you can also download apps which allow casting from a variety of other devices like iPhones, iPads and also Android devices. Like the Xiaomi Mi Box or MyBox S 2nd generation, it has a quad-core Cortex A55 processor, 2GB of RAM, it has a GE9215 up to 850 MHz GPU, dual band Wi-Fi 6E and 16GB of storage, which is larger than the MyBox S 2nd generation. The stick also supports Dolby Vision plus HDR, HDR10, HDR10+, HLG with AV1 support, and also supports Dolby Atmos audio. Unlike cheaper Fire Sticks, the 4K Max 2nd Gen is extremely responsive and quick to load apps. The remote has built-in Alexa and has infrared for TV controls such as power, volume and mute. Recently, the Fire Sticks have received criticism due to the fact that Amazon have been stopping users from customising the home screen, which has also stopped some utility apps, for example cleanup tools, from working. However, this has not prevented sideloading popular streaming apps. Secondly, Amazon are going to be moving away from Android-based systems in future releases of the Fire Stick, which means no more sideloading on Fire Sticks that are going to be released sometime in the future. But the Fire Sticks that are currently on sale are unlikely to be affected by these changes, and all the currently sold Fire Sticks are supported until until at least the 31st of December 2029. You can buy an Ethernet adapter if the Wi-Fi 6E is still not strong enough, or you don't have a Wi-Fi 6E compatible router or access point. You can also plug in an OTG cable, which gives you a USB socket, allowing you to plug in a USB stick or hard drive to play local media, but only the FAT32 file format is supported, meaning file sizes under 4GB can be read. But with AV1 support on the stick, I'm sure you can compress most films to under 4GB and still maintain good quality. The stick's fully compatible with all UK catch-up apps and other apps too. While this Fire Stick is priced at $69.99, Amazon do frequently have a sale, and you can bag one of these every few months for about £45, making it the cheapest of the 4K budget devices here. The Fire Stick 4K Max 2nd Gen is an excellent device. It's very responsive and has more storage than many other devices in this price range, and if you can bag one in a sale at £45, then you'd have bagged yourself a near premium streaming device at a bargain price. Since recording this original video, something has changed. I'm going to talk about the BBC iPlayer in the next part, saying it's not officially available on the Google TV streamer. But since recording this video, things have changed, and apparently it is now officially available from the Play Store. So please, when watching this video, just disregard the bit about the BBC iPlayer. Now it's time to look at the newest kid on the block, the Google Streamer. This was recently released last year by Google, and unlike its predecessor, it's a box designed to go underneath the TV like the Mi Box 2nd Gen. It has a MediaTek MT8696 chipset, which was used in the first generation Fire TV Stick 4K Max, but it does have 4GB of RAM, which is double that of the Fire Stick. It also boasts a massive 32GB of storage, which again is double that of the 2nd generation 4K Max Fire Stick. However, because of the chipset it's using, the Wi-Fi is only Wi-Fi 5 rather than Wi-Fi 6 or 6E. The streamer supports HDR10, HDR10 Plus, HLG and Dolby Vision, along with Dolby Digital and Dolby Digital Plus, and also Dolby Atmos. And of course, has hardware support for the AV1 video format. The streamer unit itself has 3 ports. A USB-C power port, which doubles up as a data port if connected via an OTG cable. It also has a gigabit Ethernet port and an HDMI 2 port. The data port allows a USB stick or hard drive to be connected to play media locally. This needs to be formatted to exFAT. The remote supplied with the unit allows voice control and has all the usual buttons you'd expect, including volume controls, mute and power. The operating system on the box is Android 14. This means it has full access to the Google Play Store, which includes UK TV catch-up apps and other popular streaming apps. However, at the time of recording this video, it appears that BBC iPlayer is not yet working with the streamer. This is due to certification issues. It does have the ability though to sideload apps if needed. Also, being Android, it's Chromecast compatible too. Navigating the menus is quick and easy, and the picture quality is reportedly generally better than the Fire Stick, but many have reported problems with some apps not working as expected. And from the specs, it appears that no HDMI cable is supplied with it, which, to be quite honest with you, is no big deal because you can pick these things up for a few quid on Amazon or eBay. So what would be my choice of a 4K budget streaming box for less than £100? Well, the Roku Sticks works with all UK apps, is good quality and is a good price. However, you're limited to only apps that are available on the Roku channel. Unfortunately, there's just no ability to sideload apps. Also, many users are not going to be happy about agreeing to their terms and conditions. The Xiaomi Mi Box S Second gen is great in the fact that it's a bargain. However, there's not a lot of storage. So if you're the type of person that likes to download lots of apps, there's not going to be a great deal of room for you to store all these apps. That, coupled with the fact it's not certified for many of the UK streaming apps, maybe a bit of a letdown to many users. The Google Streamer is a great choice. It's got loads of storage. You can sideload apps. You've got access to the Google Play Store. However, at the current time, many users are complaining about lack of support for BBC iPlayer and the fact that it's prone to crashing on certain apps. I think at the moment this device needs time to mature and allow Google to fix the bugs and get certification for the BBC iPlayer. Hopefully, in time, these issues will be fixed and it will make the perfect streaming box for under £100. So my suggestion would be wait until Amazon have a sale on. Buy the Fire TV 4K Max second generation and grab it for around £45. It's a great stick that plugs directly into the HDMI port of your TV, so it's hidden out of the way, unlike some of these other devices that need to sit underneath the TV. It's got a great fast interface, it allows side loading, and it's the only device here that supports Wi-Fi 6. And it also has 16 gigabytes of storage, which is plenty of storage for someone that likes to install lots of apps on their TV device. Now, if you're thinking of purchasing any of these apps, I've got links in the description down below. Please consider using these links as it really does help support this channel.